Hi everybody, Light Meadow Creations again, and we just got back from another big auction haul in Oakland, Nebraska. We have an antique 1920s crisscross marble game and some Coca-Cola signs, a vintage Coca-Cola platter, a small vintage trunk. Isn't that cute? A vintage hat box, a vintage Roy Clark guitar book, and some vintage fishing lures. A whole bunch of them in there. Here we have a shadow box, and it's got an antique French note in it. We have a mother and her child, and they have a magnifying glass over their faces. And then we have some antique glasses. Kind of hard to see here. It's really cool. And here we have a bunch of handmade jewelry and charms here to show you guys. Some handmade necklaces. Here's a wire wrap ring. And here's a wire wrap bracelet. It's real pretty. We have a necklace. Here's a charm here. Some more bracelets. Looks like a butterfly. And another bracelet. Looks like we have some kind of pin with the flag, beaded flag. Some more rings. A lot of handmade jewelry. And then we have some vintage to antique tins. Here we have a Kentucky Club pipe and cigarette tobacco tin. And then we have, that one's hard to read, half and something Carl. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that says. And then we have a Doan's pills for relief of backache. And then we have a neat antique Cook's refrigerator, patented August 2nd, 1887 in Omaha, Nebraska. It went on a refrigerator. Isn't that cool? And then we have some Lucky Strike tins. These are Lucky Strike cigarettes. And then we have a Trick Pony mechanical bank. And then we have a Jonah and the Whale mechanical bank. We have some shadow boxes. This one's new. We have a Coca-Cola napkin holder. A Coca-Cola radio. We have Coca-Cola bookends. And then we have Coca-Cola salt and pepper holder. Coca-Cola coasters. An enamel coffee pot. And then these are handmade candy holders, and they're made out of flower pots. You just open it up and put the candy in there. And we have a wood Coca-Cola thermometer and a stainless steel coffee urn coffee pot. And then we have a bunch of vintage VHS and DVD players. We have a vintage Emerson VHS player. And then we have a vintage Panasonic VHS player. And then we have a vintage Magnavox VHS player and DVD player. And then we have a Sony DVD VHS player. And then we have a Symphonic DVD VCR CD player in box. And then we have a vintage wicker basket box. And a vintage picnic basket.